my name is Lucie and I'm currently living in Sri Lanka. If you've missed my recent videos, then I recommend you go watch them to see what I've been getting up to whilst I've been here. But recently I extended my visa and I'm hoping to stay here for a lot longer. I am really enjoying my time here, even though things are pretty dead here at the moment, what with low season and the coronavirus. In my last video, I visited COOKER Lake and learned a lot about the cinnamon plant and had my first sip of cinnamon tea. And what goes well with tea? Cake. Cake, 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 cake. I am going to be making a cake, and not just a normal kind of cake. I'm going to be making a cake in a rice cooker. Now, if you don't know what a rice cooker is, then it looks a bit like this. And basically, it's really easy to cook rice. You just put rice in it, fill it up with some water, and then you just click this little button here and it cooks. I've never done this before, but I've been thinking recently how much I want to give it a go and I want to try and make a cake, but I've never done it before, so this is going to be a challenge. And to make it even more challenging, I don't have the ingredients that I would have back in England when I make a cake, because obviously a vegan cake doesn't use eggs. It's a little bit more complicated, especially when you don't have the right ingredients. I mean, when I'm in England and I'm baking a cake, it's super easy because I have the ingredients that I know that works. But here I don't. I couldn't source the exact ingredients I needed, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway because why not? Oh, and I forgot to make it even more challenging, because it's not enough of a challenge already, obviously. I don't have scales or anything to measure, so it's gonna be all done with eye. I really don't know how this is gonna go. It could turn out a complete disaster, or it could turn out amazing. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. Because I've just had this idea in my head for a while. I wanna do some baking. So I'm just gonna go along with it. I don't have a recipe. Obviously I don't have any measurements, so I'm just gonna put it all in what I've got. So I've got this bowl for mixing my dry ingredients, and then I've got this jug for mixing my wet ingredients. Yeah. Let's get going. Also, at the same time, I'm cooking my dinner, and I'm really excited tonight for dinner because I love cooking lots of vegetables. Obviously, I love veggies, and tonight I'm having like a okra carrot stir fry thing with a little bit of sesame oil. And then I also found some mushrooms in a shop, which I haven't seen mushrooms in a long time, so I've just sauteed them up with some soy sauce, and then I'm just gonna have some noodles, but I'm gonna put that on hold for a minute because this cake is more important. I feel like when I start these things, I always feel really stuck because I just don't know where to start. Like, I don't know what goes first. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna start with some flour. And this just isn't normal wheat flour, this is rice flour. So, obviously this cake is gonna be vegan, but it's gonna be gluten-free as well. Because I couldn't find any wheat flour. Maybe it was in the shop, but they didn't understand what I was saying. But yeah, I'm just gonna, I've just got it all done. I'm just gonna bung this in there. And like I said before, I don't have any measurements. So I'm just gonna put it in like that. Next, I'm going to add my sugar. I've just got some brown sugar here. Yeah, again, I don't know how much I'm putting in, but I'm just gonna pour. Yeah, that will do. I don't know. That doesn't look right. Okay, this cake is going to be a chocolate cake, and if this is a success, then next week I want to give it a go at making carrot cake, because I really like carrot cake. So I hope this goes well. But this one is going to be chocolate, and I've just got some cacao powder, and I also found this in Food City, dark chocolate, so I'm going to melt some of this down and mix that in as well. How much cacao powder are you meant to put in these things? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I think that is all the dry ingredients. Obviously I'm not using self-raising flour, so I don't know how the cake is gonna rise. Maybe with the wet ingredients combination. Okay, let's just carry on with the wet ingredients and we'll see how it goes after. Okay, and then for the wet ingredients, I'm going to I'm going to use coconut milk. I've just got this coconut milk in a can. So I'm going to pour that in. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know how much I need. I'm just gonna put all of it in. That's 400 ml. I feel like that's usually what a recipe would say. I don't know. Usually back home in England, I would use apple cider vinegar and oil combination, and usually I'd use coconut oil, which I have in my refill bottle here. But in this case, I don't have apple cider vinegar, and I couldn't find white vinegar, so instead I'm going to use coconut vinegar and hope that that does something. So usually when I make a cake at home, I just put like 2 tablespoons in. So I'm just gonna do that. And then usually it's quite a bit of oil because I don't have any butter in the cake. So I'm just gonna pour a load of this in as well. You're probably watching this thinking,
what the hell is she doing? Like, this is all wrong.
But like I said at the beginning, I don't have a recipe, I don't have the right ingredients, I don't have anything to measure, so I'm just going for it. So now I'm just like whisking all of my wet ingredient combination together, whisking it together with this fork, because I don't have a whisk. This kitchen isn't very well equipped, by the way, but that's okay. That noise in the background, by the way, is the kettle boiling because I'm going to attempt at melting the chocolate. So then I can add the chocolate into here as well. And then that's going to be mixed through the batter of the cake. Don't know if this chocolate is any good, but it will do. So I've ended up just putting all of the chocolate on to melt because half of it's going to be in the batter of the cake and the other half is going to be for the icing, which I think I'm going to make with coconut milk and some icing sugar. And I thought I'd just show you the drizzles. The drizzle. Yeah, so that's the plan. If it all goes to plan, we'll have a nice chocolate ganache icing as well. So the chocolate has all finished melting and it's, oh, it looks amazing. I just want to eat it just like this. So now I'm going to pour half of this mixture into my batter and half of this mixture into what will be my icing on top of the cake. And then the last bit to finish off the batter is to just mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, and then it'll be ready to go into the rice cooker, and then we'll soon find out if this has worked. Wow. Well, this actually looks amazing. It does look like cake batter, to be honest. See? I feel like I've done something right, but does it taste right? Well, it's sweet, it tastes chocolatey, it tastes very much like coconut, but that's fine because I love coconut. Yeah, I think this is good to go, look. Woohoo! So I just added a little bit more coconut milk because it was quite thick, but now I think this is a good consistency. Wow. I'm so excited for this cake. So all that's left to do now is put the mixture into the rice cooker and then turn it on and see if it works. This is gonna go into here. I really hope this works. I'll be really proud of myself if it does. It does taste good. It's all in my hands. So now I'm just gonna put this into here. Put the lid on. And, oh, plug it in would help. And then cook. Fingers crossed. We'll see, we'll check in, I don't know how long, 20 minutes? And whilst the cake was cooking, I then started to make the icing. So I just used the melted chocolate that I had done whilst melting the rest of the chocolate for the batter, and I added some coconut milk, and stirred it all together, and voila. I then just put it in the fridge for a little bit so it just had some time to set, just so it's easier to smear on top of the cake. Well, it was all going too well apparently, because I smelt burning and then it stopped cooking, the rice cooker, and it hasn't cooked it at all. So yeah, that's not cooked. It's not even warm. What to do? Well, the thing that I learned from this is that nothing ever goes to plan. I thought at the start that it wasn't going to work, but it ended up turning out really quite lovely. Oh dear. So I'm very proud of myself. Now I'm going to enjoy a slice of this cake, and I'm going to try and perfect the recipe with my carrot cake next week.